My hospital gave us a little memory box here. So, and this is her little baby blanket. It has been washed several times and there's still some dry blood on it, which is probably not the best thing, but I'm going to keep it because it's the only thing I have of hers. So my hospital, they did whatever they could to possibly make this normal for us. They gave us hospital bracelets for her. It has her name on it. She was too small to even wear a hospital bracelet, but they did it for her. For me, it's really more for me. They gave us this little pillow, and then there's a little like ring for her. I have some pictures of her, but I'm not going to share those. There's a couple other things. Let's see. I have some. Oh, and they gave us this little card that has her name, her birth date, which was December 11th, the time that she was delivered, which was 11:49 p.m., the doctor on call. So they just try to do their very best to make this feel normal. I mean, there's nothing normal about losing a child, but to make us feel like our child mattered. And I'm really thankful for that. Now, most hospitals, I believe, that when you do give birth to a living, healthy baby, you get handprints and footprints. Now, we had a nurse that was just a complete angel. She came to our room and she took handprints and footprints of Naomi until they were perfect. Absolutely perfect. So I have her footprints here. They're really teeny tiny. If you can see those. Those are her little feet. She had 10 fingers and 10 toes. So beautiful. Here are her little handprints. So she was tiny. Here's my finger and there's her handprint. So that kind of gives you an idea of how small she was. Because I was not full term. So that's a little memory box that the hospital gave us, and after 24 hours we had to get her to the hospital, and that was the hardest thing that I had to do, was give her away. Leaving the hospital without a child is unbearable. It really is. So following the weeks and months following, my milk came in. That was something that I had to deal with. It was bittersweet. I was thankful to know that my milk came in, like just knowing that, okay, my milk came in, Lord willing, I won't have any issues breastfeeding future children. But it was just also a reminder of our loss. So, at my 5-week postpartum visit, my OB gave us the results of the pathology report, gave us, the test they did on my placenta. And everything came back negative. There was nothing that they found to be wrong with her. And that was also bittersweet. One, because I knew nothing was wrong with her. Like, I had a beautiful pregnancy up until 22, 23, 24 weeks. Something happened between 22 and 26 weeks. We just don't know what. But it was also challenging because knowing that she died, but we didn't have a concrete answer why. So after that news came out, I told my doctor. I set up another appointment with him, and I came into that appointment with a list of about 10 blood clotting disorders that I wanted to be screened for. And he had no objections. He said, okay, we will do this. And so I had about, I don't know, it was probably like 10 vials of blood taken to check for these disorders. And some of them were like the big, like the major ones that if I had those, if I had one of those disorders, it would have been a no-brainer, knowing we would have been like, okay, well, you have this, so she probably died of a blood clot. But I did not have any of the major ones. I do have a blood clotting disorder. It's called MTHFR for short, and it stands for methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase. Now, a few things about this. Everyone has methyl tetrahydrofolate in every cell of their body. It is how you process folic acid. I have reductase, meaning that my body does not process folic acid like it should, which I guess that can lead to blood clotting disorders. Now, this disorder is mostly, there's more research showing that women that have 3 or more first trimester miscarriages, that this is related. MTHFR is related to that. There's more research done. But if you Google MTHFR and stillbirth, there are several, maybe hundreds, I don't really know, of studies that have come up of women that have this blood disorder and that have had a stillbirth. So we don't know for sure if this blood clotting disorder contributed to her death. It could have, we don't know. So because of that, my pregnancy with my daughter Zoe and my current pregnancy, we do some preventative things to make sure that what happened to Naomi, what doesn't happen again. Now, there's only so much we can do. I'm not in control. But I do my best to take care of myself, take my vitamins and all that kind of stuff. So what that meant for my last pregnancy, my current pregnancy, so I take a baby aspirin to just help thin my blood. Some women have to take Lovenox injections if they have one of the major blood clotting disorders. I just have to take baby aspirin. And I have to make sure that my prenatal has folate, not folic acid, because my body does not process that. And I take an extra dose of B12, of my B vitamins, because that is usually you're low. If you have this disorder, you're low on your B vitamins and all that kind of stuff. So, with all of that said, so we lost Naomi December 2014. I got pregnant with Zoe March 2015, and my pregnancy with her was very healing. It was filled with a lot of anxiety. And you know, you hear that phrase, innocence is bliss, and I think that's really true. But it was not true it's not true for me anymore. I know too much. They say, you know, you pass your first trimester, your risk of miscarriage is low, and it is. But for many families, that does not mean that they're in the clear. And for me, I don't consider myself in the clear until I have my baby in my arms. And so I think I try to live each day that I'm pregnant just with a greater appreciation for the life that I'm carrying, and knowing that every day is a gift. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. But I think specifically when I'm pregnant, I want to make sure that I'm telling this baby every day, I love you and I care about you, and because I don't know what the future holds. And of course I pray every day that the Lord would just allow this baby to grow and be healthy in my womb. So that's a little bit about our story. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're 2 years out. Of course I still get, as you can see, I still get emotional about it, but I feel like my heart is healed a lot. And if you have experienced this, or you know someone who has, just know that you're not alone.